Hey there, AC the Builder here. So you haven't heard from me in a while because I've kind of just been like processing everything, and I've kind of had to get a few things fixed around my personal situation, I guess. Um, Mainly just making sure that the right finances come in for the right things, and that things that I don't need were kind of taken care of, and things that I needed were taken care of in the right way. That's kind of pushed me away from the streaming a little bit in the last couple of days. Even more so with the fact that I couldn't, every time I tried to create a video, I would either have an issue like my mic being muted because I forgot to put the audio on, number one, and number two, the game file has been corrupted or some crazy thing. It just kind of freezes before it even gets halfway through the saving, the opening of the new file, and I don't know what to do with that. It's happened a few times before on other maps. Those maps have been more fuller than this one. For some reason, it's happening on this one, this current map, which has been Portville. So with that being said, I've kind of decided to push on and to start a different city in a whole new map. With this new city, it's kind of been a fresh, kind of given me fresh eyes to see what I actually need to do to create a city that looks good, or looks at least half decent enough to be put up on YouTube. Right at the moment, I had about 5 or so episodes planned that I had finished. The whole recording phase of it, and I was getting to the edit, only to find out that the audio had gone on all 5 of them. So unlucky me, but also I've learnt my lesson to do the checks beforehand. So that means I'm going to bring all these episodes to you, but I'm going to bring them to you in a time lapse that's going to start from here. And here we are, just kind of going through the motions, the initial startings of a city. And the idea with this, I wanted something fresh. So I decided to create that kind of curved road area. And later on, we'll end up putting water through, and then we'll start a bit of the zoning. I wanted shops up the top so that we could, so that people didn't have to go all the way down to the city centre to get their stuff. Just make it a little bit easier for everyone. A little less resistance when moving in. And that area, that industrial complex became also our waste complex as well. We decided to put in a few dumps, and you'll see that process coming up very soon. And I guess currently we're just looking through all the beautiful assets from some fine creators that are on its going. The idea is I want this to be a tourist haven as well, so there'll be some spaces where we build out a airport eventually. We're going to build a massive city. Like I'm aiming for about 250,000+ residents, but that's obviously going to come over time, and I look forward to this whole journey. Right here is we have our pennies, and we continue to look at our city. We're kind of looking for the park startings and our first tile purchase. This is a big part because we created this wonderful road that would enable us to get beautiful city vistas that are coming up very soon. And you'll see, like, I kind of mess around here. I thought of going over the main highway already. That's already there. But then I kind of rethought that it might be better to go underneath and provide a slip lane to the other side, because we we initially had the idea that it was just going to be an industrial type road, that we would have only industrial style traffic and obviously emergency services and buses and all that kind of thing. But later on, we kind of came to the solution that we would eventually add some residents to this area. We added those residents and realized that, you know, we're just going to make it a full service road. Those residents are being placed in at a later point, but it's still very good. And here we go. Here's where we start to look at these beautiful vistas, and the restrictions that we put on these areas were kind of were good. So we had 40 restriction of 40 miles per hour, and we continue kind of in this vein, looking at ways to improve this area, and slowly we move on to developing out our space and looking at our budgets. Yep, there we go, looking for our first vehicle to follow and to see if we can get inside there. But we kind of discovered a few things about the area that we kind of wanted to highlight, and the first one was this beautiful space right next to this right next to the river, and we wanted to kind of create this nature path that would go along that area and through all the bush that was in that space, to create a point of difference for people to kind of travel through and experience, or walk through to work, or walk to the other end of the city. And I think with the end goal of this kind of space will be that we eventually extend it to a larger park that's going to be up on that hill that is right as we come in. You'll see it soon. But before that, we had to get our rubbish in. We had to organise some kind of shops in that area, and still looking at population growth and expanding the city and creating new touch points for people to reach out to their thing, to their community. And right here, this is kind of a crazy decision that I had, that we would look into putting some housing there. And I mean, it's wild, because in this same area that the dump is and that the industrial complex is, someone wants to live there with their kids, with also a pool. I mean, I wouldn't want to live by the dump. So sometimes I think that AI is a bit wonky. But nonetheless, we decided no parking, and we'll put some parking structures in place that people would kind of just jump into. And here we go, just continuing to expand the neighborhood. Changing the road rules of that space was an essential part to see it grow, and just following this lady to work was just kind of fun, just to see what they're experiencing, you know. And there's a clear division between what is retail / thing and what isn't. Here we are, just kind of looking at this beautiful town that we're building, following the residents, see how they experience it. I think that's a very key part of city building, is space that we wanted to create this beginner part of the park in, and it was going to be this whole area was just going to be parkland. We were going to develop different islands for different things maybe. We kind of haven't settled on an idea for it yet, but here's a very important part of the process, was to move all our wastewater and all of our clean water to a new location so that we could go down deeper and have that in the same kind of space. So I used freshwater outlets, and I used just the move it tool to kind of get ensure that everything was coming nice and freely, and that would have power to everything that we needed to have power to, and water to everything that we needed to have water to, because this area is probably not going to be used yet. It might be the beginning of the downtown waste disposal kind of space as well. I haven't quite thought of it, but I thought it'd be good to put it alongside a highway, because no one really wants to hang out outside a highway. Well, hello there. So I hope you enjoy that time lapse. The next part of this episode is going to be I'm going to go in and do a bit of live play. I'm kind of really looking forward to this session, because this is the session where we expand well beyond what we have now. We're actually going to buy a new tile when we hit 8 to 10,000 residents probably, and it's going to be a fulfilling episode. So here we are. This is episode 1.5, and we're going to go to a bit of a clip about what is happening in this episode. This episode is pretty huge because we pretty much double our population within this part of the episode, and we're also looking at potential shopping areas, potential large park areas, and quite a few really cool spaces that I can't wait to develop. And there's a bit of a surprise in there, so just hang out for that and see what happens, eh? Sweet. Check it out now. Bye. Okay, here we are. Back in the city. So we are just going to take a look at all that's available to us now. There is actually so much here, and there is so much to do. So first, today we're going to start off with some expansion. We're going to build some new roads. We're going to create some new opportunities for residents to move in, and alongside that we're going to also build out some of our facilities and build a shopping zone in this within this district that is much bigger than what we have. Currently we have just like one main street and several other shopping streets that are just too small. So I guess the best way to start this would be to build this road through here so that we can get up to this area, because what I really want to do with this area is I want to put some mansions in this area. I think it's a really good spot to put in some high-priced housing, and it would enable people who are a bit richer to have their place. And obviously, I mean, I'm probably gonna get some custom assets and do some real good detailing episodes around that. That is to come very soon. Look forward to that part of this build as well. There's also probably going to be a zoo that's going to go in that space or near that space. But for now, I think what might be best is if we build out here, which is a whole new zone for us. And it kind of has good connections to everywhere. And in a way, it unlocks both options for when it comes to upgrading our tiles. I think that this is probably the best place to build for us right now. And I can see that we can push this road through here and down and into our old area. I think within this area, there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of opportunity for us to really develop some more housing. I really want to do like this shopping area, but I think before we get to that shopping space, we're going to need a bit more money, and to get more money, we need more residents, and more residents will bring in that money, will bring in those jobs, will bring in those opportunities, will enable that shopping area to be really on a high level. More than that, with that shopping area, I'm thinking, I'm thinking about these tiles. There's so many good opportunities within this map to expand and explode. So I feel like this map might lend itself more to a 500,000 person kind of population size. That's a long way to go. So there's probably about 20, 30, 40, 50 plus episodes left, depending on how deep in the minutiae I want to get. But for now, I'm just going to start by increasing our residents within this city that we have, and we're just going to continue to build, continue to expand beyond our measure. And yeah. And I think this area is going to lend itself nicely to a bit of a curved grid pattern, which is it's a bit of a unique idea that I had, that we would have more grids so that we can fit a lot of population in, but at the same time we would have we would curve them so it would make it look a bit different from everything else that's going on. And I think I can fit maybe a good 100 odd houses, a good 30 plus houses in here. So I think it's a really good opportunity for us to expand. And you know, if we decide to take that tile next to us, it's going to enable us to get to that railway line, which is right there. And that railway line could potentially be the starting of our shipping harbour, or the starting of our freight rail and our passenger rail options. I don't think I want them to go directly into that city, although that city is going to look very different when we finish it. So right now I'm just going to keep putting in these putting in the essential services to enable us to really grow out here. Now another idea I have here is, I feel like these have to go. I feel like we should connect power, but we should also think about moving this area. Because I want to try and get a bridge through here. An underpass through here. And I think the best way to do it is to start doing a bit more works, a bit more earthworks, which is going to be a challenge through here because we've got that lake right next to us. And yeah, you know how City Skylines is with its physics, with its water physics. It's pretty insane, like how quickly things can just go over the top. So right, I'll just push this down a bit more. Oh, I may have gone a little bit too deep there. Let's try and even it up again. Oh no, there it is. Water's in there already. We are screwed. Oh no, please don't. No. Oh, let's create barriers around it. Might help it, might prevent it from expanding even more. Now, how the heck are we going to get that water out of there? I think we could create a pathway alongside this area, which might enable us to get in there. But I think I've also done it the wrong way. Yes, I should have expanded that front part there before I went and did that, because now this idea is completely ruined and I don't know what to do about it, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't screw this up, even though, you know, the likelihood of that happening is very slim, of
is highly likely. So for now, I'm just going to continue to build and to grow, to step into this new space. This area is getting bigger and bigger, and I think an overpass getting into this new area is probably going to be the most essential part. And I can see that you know, getting down is going to be the tough part, getting down from such a height. I wonder if the idea is that we can get as many residents in here as possible, as soon as possible, and we have so much space here, so that's going to really lend itself to residents. And you know, we could have gone two ways with this. We really could have just put a stadium in there, but then I thought, really, a stadium next to our city service, our city poop vent, not the best kind of tourist attraction. Oh, and here we go. We found our dam, and that is the tile we're considering getting, and we can potentially start looking at into that, but we just need to work on ways to get out of the city first. And I think, you know what this place needs? It needs a noodle restaurant. This might be the beginnings of our Japanese area. We've got our first thing that our first restaurant that we're gonna put in here. It's gonna be this delicious noodle restaurant. I love my Japanese food, so this is gonna be such a beautiful experience. But first, oh no! Oh wow, that flood that escalated super quickly. That flood is not happy. That water is not happy there. It's all the poo water too, so it's even more disgusting. Oh, it's covering everywhere. Oh, I should have slowed down. I really should have slowed down. It's over. It's game over. What will I do? Oh my gosh. This always happens. Like, I am not good with using these tools at all. I think I need a bit of learning. So I think the best idea would be to build a barrier around here, and then to try and excavate the area and potentially get all that water out of that area, because it's just not ideal. It's just not going to work. And like when we see things like this happening, wow, okay, that has exploded. That